Anyways,
Hey, welcome. It's I don't know.
The 8th?
It's a special episode. Yeah, March 8th, I guess. Well, right we were going to record something for the WrestleCast, but then right before Wesley had sent us a little message or a little, what was it? Like a little press release or something from Toei?
from Toy Animation.
Yeah, that Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball Z, and all that stuff. What was it? Dragon.
He did the character designs for Blue Dragon,
Yeah.
and he also did the character designs for Chrono Trigger.
That's it.
And I'm sure a few other things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
Wes drops
yeah.
this bomb.
Yeah, he passed away.
Sorry.
On the
Wes,
first.
Wes has been doing his best to ruin my life for the past 2 weeks.
Just call me the spoiler.
Anyway,
Let me know all
But yes,
my
he did-
bays
he-
are taken, and now Akira Toriyama. And then last week,
apparently on March 1st.
we had Cagney Lynn Carter, one of the greatest porn stars ever to do it.
all right, come on, man. This is
Next,
about
I'm gonna
Akira
lose-
Toriyama.
Next, I'm gonna lose R.R. Martin. I lost Jason David Frank. My whole childhood is falling apart right now.
Yeah, Dragon Ball was like, I don't know,
And I
saying right
and I
before we
wanted
started
Super.
recording this.
wanted Super so bad, more Super, but I think I'm taking some blame for this since I shat on Daima so much.
Yeah, man, it was one of the first animes that I watched, like fucking back in middle school, and I think it was like I didn't start watching it until like I think we met in school. I saw like you were looking at some kind of Dragon Ball shit, Wes, and I was like, oh, what is that? I don't know. Fucking started talking about it and shit, and that's when I started watching it around that time, like 7th, 8th grade or some shit like that, and then
Yeah, I
fucking
was-
history since then.
God, man, I don't remember exactly when I started watching, but I remember it was definitely early 90s, mid 90s, whatever it was. My cousin was watching it, and he was like, dude, he's like, man, he's like, you gotta watch this show. So I go, all right, cool, what is it? He's like, it's called Dragon Ball. He's like, Dragon Ball Z. He's like, dude, you gotta watch. Best show I've ever seen. I was like, okay, cool. When's it come on? At the time, it was like Sunday morning at like 6:00.
Yeah.
It was, the original Ocean dub. So all the voice actors are different. Everything was just fucking weird. And it was episode 1, obviously, Raditz and everything. And it would go all the way to episode 13. And it would stop. And it would just fucking replay all over again. Because that was the only shit that they had released at the time. And the very first episode I caught was like midway through. Goku and Vegeta fighting each other, and they both threw the beams at each other or whatever. And I was hooked after that. I called him up and I was like, dude, this is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he's like, I told you. I was like, oh man, I gotta watch this. And then it just it would always repeat, but I'd watch it every fucking Sunday. And dude, I don't know, man. It was a show. And it was anime before I knew what anime was. But it was like that crazy
old.
Yeah.
super like
Yeah.
super heavily edited, like clearly you could see like the where they painted over the blood and it was just like glitchy and moving around and shit. Like really poorly
I don't even remember this.
edited. Oh yeah, dude, it was
I remember 5
fucking
o'clock
hilarious.
on Cartoon Network. 5 to 6. And they would show 2 episodes back to back. And they would do the same shit. They'd
Yep.
get all the way to the Frieza saga. And then boom, rewind. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, finally I'm gonna see Cell and No.
But dude, not even like the Frieza saga, because like they would cut off like right before Super Saiyan, were they?
It was
Didn't
random. They would
Yeah,
go
so,
halfway
like, it would-
through. They would go halfway
took forever
through.
to
They would
get
do
through
the
this-
Namek saga. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it would take forever to get through the Saiyan saga before it would keep repeating, and then they would release another little small batch of like the fake Namek shit, and then they would land on Namek, and then it would repeat, and then by the time they got back, it was like, okay, now here's the Ginyu Force, then it would repeat, and then it's like, okay, here's the beginning
Yes.
of Frieza,
Yeah.
and it would repeat, then it was Super Saiyan, okay, it'll repeat, And yeah, it was just always like that. And when they finally did the Cell Saga, I was like, oh my God, thank God, like new
Yeah.
stuff. And then that would repeat.
And
And then finally, like the last
Brutal.
time, like the very first run, I remember started from episode 1, watched it all the way through on Toonami, and it got to Boo, I think. And then it started all over
Yes.
again, and I went, you know what? Fuck this, I'm out. Like I
Yeah.
can't do this. I can't do this anymore. And then it took years for me to like go back and like actually finish the show.
Dude, I
But,
was
yeah, that repeat shit was just way too much.
yeah, it was same for me. Watched it up until they like whenever they cut it off after Boo was revealed, and then had not watched it until probably as late as 2013, when like I don't know, at some point I pirated the rest of the series and then I finished it. I was like, and it was like, holy shit, I watched it from the beginning before I even got to the fucking Boo shit, because I was like, it's been a fucking while. And then since then, I like watch it at least once a year. Maybe not the entire original series, but I will watch fucking Kai.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably Kai.
Oh,
I got
dude.
Sarah. My wife got me y'all know Sarah, of course. She got me the Dragon Ball set like 2009 or some shit, 2008 something. But she got me the OGs put on DVD, like the first run of the DVDs.
Mm.
And it's all like the original. I'm watching it and I'm like, what am I watching? Like, I've never seen this and I've seen it all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this episode? Like, just every other episode was like a filler episode or some shit. I'm like, what is this?
Garlic Jr.
They spent several episodes with the garlic stuff, and I'm like, the only thing they ever showed us on TV was the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Like late at night, if you stayed up, 11 like was it Toonami or whatever, you could watch like the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
It was
Like,
always the first. It was always the first 3. It was Dead Zone with Garlic, and then it was Tree of Might with Turles, and then it was World's Strongest.
Until they dropped the Trunks and Bardock stories.
Fucking right. My absolute 2 favorite movies, for sure, no doubt. The history of Trunks movie is like, to me, was probably my favorite, just because it was so cool to have like this alternate future where like everyone's fucking dead. Gohan lives but loses an arm. Like the whole thing was great. Everything about it, I'm like, oh fuck, this is like heavy stuff.
And dude,
what's your power level?
This was like I was into Dragon Ball was popular for us, like at a time when AOL or the internet was about. So being fucking internet chat rooms, talking about Dragon Ball, fucking all kind of shit. It was a fucking time, man. And
every drawing you ever saw online, you thought was like a real picture of like the next stage of Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's Super Saiyan 5.
I can't tell you how many websites I built for Dragon Ball on Angel. What was it? Fucking
Angel Fire.
GeoCities, Angel Fire, fucking whatever search engine also hosted websites. I was creating and loading a bunch of Dragon Ball gifts that.
So old.
Yes. Very old. Dude, Dragon Ball is a core thing to me. Like Metal Gear Solid is fucking core to my being. Fucking.
I mean, for me, it was everything. That's primarily what I drew when I was into art, and actually had time to draw in between classes or in class when I was supposed to be studying. It's all I ever drew. People like classmates would come up and be like, "Oh man, can you draw me Goku?" Like, yeah, sure, here.
Everybody wanted that one friend that could draw fucking Dragon Ball.
Everyone had, and I was that one.
And say, hey,
and it was like, commission me this, and it's like, all right, I'll dance for you.
And everybody
9th grade
had that
shop
that
class.
Would print something out.
9th grade shop class. What are you going to do? They say you need to do a project. What are you going to do? This is what you're going to do. Just a wooden circle.
You make the hockey puck.
You just make a wooden circle and cut it out with a saw. That's what you do.
With Goten in the middle. Was that Goten, right?
Yeah. This fucking Goten. As before I
Oh,
got
my
to see how
Gotex.
fucking stupid they are when with
Oh,
Gotex.
dude, they had these old I don't know what the fuck ever happened to them. I guess I threw them away or lost them over the years, but I had a run of like 30 different like Dragon Ball figures
Mm.
uh that I kept for a long time. I remember going to like I think one year, if I think we evacuated for a hurricane, and I ended up in Houston, and we went to like the big mall out there, whatever it's called, and there was an import shop
Massive.
that I wandered into, and it was like I'm buying all the Dragon Ball figures I can find, like Japanese packaging and like shit I'd never seen before. Like, oh fuck this, I'm buying it all. Give me Piccolo, give me Broly.
You
Like,
found
I don't know
box
who this
lunch.
guy is, but I'll take it.
You found the box lunch
know.
store.
Probably, I'm sure.
Dude,
I
that
don't know what it
mall
was, but
now it's
I don't know what it
4
was,
stories.
but it's fucking awesome. Is it really?
It's 4 stories. It's got because it's got a basement that's got a skating rink.
Yeah. Okay. So that was
Nice.
the mall. Yeah, because I remember the big
Fucking
skating
massive.
rink. But I mean he's hidden behind the world title over here. But I have an old Goku figure from
Yeah, most
Dragon
of
Ball.
your room is hidden behind that world title.
But I have this old Goku figure from Dragon Ball. When he was still Kid Goku, I had him and I had a Krillin. Krillin, I think I gave to my brother and he just disappeared into the ether. But this Goku, I still have him. I lost his power pole. I lost all of his accessories, but I still have him. And I think I've had that thing since like '92.
Damn.
My grandpa bought it for me like one day randomly.
Yeah, that
And
motherfucker's
it's
gonna
my oldest.
come up missing one day.
It's my
when I
oldest
come over.
toy, and I will. It's my oldest toy, and I'll never fucking get rid of it unless I lose it. But even like
Don't invite
all
me
the way
back.
in the back, wherever my fingers pointing. Broly,
That was probably my favorite movie, Broly
Gogeta,
2.
and then I got a couple figures over here. Like I still collect Dragon Ball stuff to this day.
I got a bunch. I got a bunch of pops, but that's about as far as my collection goes. And I got a set of Dragon
wherever
Balls.
my hand's at, right there. All my Dragon Ball Super mangas. I've got up to 18 so far.
I want a set of Dragon Balls. I really do.
Yeah, we got.
It's the one thing I've always passed up buying.
We got them at a
the
Comic-Con.
one thing I've always
It came in like the legit like Japanese box and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $75 or something like that.
I've always passed up on it.
Oh man.
They're probably
One of
a
these
lot more
days.
now, but
Oh, I'm sure. But
That's awesome.
Man, it was a show, and it was my life. Well, obviously all of our lives for quite some time, like, and still is. Super's been great. I don't know how Daima's gonna go, but I'm sure we'll watch it.
Yeah, and I mean,
hot take: Dragon Ball was the best.
Well, I mean, they had a resurgence.
I've never watched it in its entirety.
So, and I don't know what y'all remember of this, but when they released Dragon Ball Fighters,
yes,
there was a resurgence of Dragon Ball popularity. All of a sudden, people that loved it as a kid were like, whatever. But dude, I remember watching that fucking oh my god, what was the big Evo after Dragon Ball
Sonic
Fighters
Fox?
came out and Sonic Fox came out, and the final day didn't end until 2:00 in the morning our time, and I was watching that bitch as it was going on because they had so many people like sign up that they didn't expect, that they ran through, and it took till like 2:00 in the next morning for them to finish. It was insane. Like,
and Dragon Ball Fighters was fucking Dragon Ball, the fighting game done right. Finally, like proper 2D fighter. Which when they first announced it, I was like, man, I don't know how this is gonna work. Like the last few 2D fighters for Dragon Ball I played were like Ultimate Battle 22, and it was fucking horrible.
I have that one around here somewhere for PlayStation.
And then
like Budokai 3, I felt like was good.
The pinnacle
was good, but then Tenkaichi, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Nah, I couldn't do Tenkaichi. But then I played what the fuck were you just talking about
Xenoverse.
before we start Xenoverse,
Yeah.
which is basically Tenkaichi anyway,
But it's a
but
different
it was
game.
done so much better.
But
It is very different.
It's positioned as an RPG more so than a fighting game. So like it's
True.
it's different. But
I guess not. I guess I'm gonna have to pick up Dragon Ball Kakarot now, which I heard was good. I just never
What's
got
what's
around
the
to buying
online series
well,
that's
hold
going
on.
it.
It's supposed to be. It's like really in depth.
I don't think it's
and it's not
The what?
officially. They have like a series online somewhere.
It's like a fanfic kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like really in depth, and even like the death battle people started using that for like the Goku versus Superman, because there's so much like more that Goku could do, but they're limited now to what they have versus what Superman could do. They started pulling from that because it actually like what they do with the show like makes sense.
That's another fucking like testament to where Dragon Ball went and how popular it got. That's the ultimate question. Who would win the fight, Goku or Superman?
Right. They just redid it. They just redid it again.
Goku. I mean, that's it. I mean, he has no ceiling. He just keeps going.
Super Smash Brothers.
But
always requested.
Superman, unfortunately.
You're both wrong. It's Batman.
Superman. Hold up. Fucking Goku is Superman. What are we fucking talking about? He was shipped off from his dying planet to Earth to chill with his grandpa Gohan.
Oh no,
that found him. He is Superman. So yes, Goku's gonna win.
they go through all that because like, you know, they do have all those parallels.
Yeah.
But they say that's the main difference is Goku was the underdog that always found a way to break the ceiling. But Superman already has all of the power, more powerful than any being in everywhere. It's just he hasn't learned how to use it yet. So, like, Superman already has the power.
Moving on from Superman.
But yeah, Goku. I guess Goku. It was hard to that was my only problem with Goku. It was hard to become a fan of anybody else. Because, like,
well,
there wasn't nobody was gonna get that strong.
Yeah, no shit. Tell that to poor Gohan.
Right. When he gets his movie, that's why I like the old Dragon Ball so much, is because like Yamcha and Tien were like forces to be fucking reckoned with.
And then one turned into comedy relief, and the other one did his best for as long as he could.
They went opposite directions. One was comic relief, the other one was just super serious.
Serious as fuck. That's the joke.
Hey, he threw his life in the ring multiple times.
He put Cell in the ground for a little while. I'll never forget that shit. I was like, "Whoa! He's gonna pull it off."
Yeah, every time I watched like the final episode of the Cell saga, it's like, man, it should have just ended there. It should have just ended.
It would have been perfect. It would have been
be done with.
It would have been perfectly okay.
Would have been perfect.
But like again, like even if they wanted to continue it, fine. Like go for it. Do what you were gonna do. Leave Goku dead. Let Gohan take over. But no, the fan backlash was fucking outrageous. So they had to shoehorn Goku back in it and throw fucking Gohan to the wayside.
Yep.
But like, Buu Saga starts. Goku comes back. Then, like, Goku's taking care of shit while Goku trains up. But then Goku trains up. He's the guy, but he's not the guy because he gets fooled by fucking Buu. And it's silly bullshit. And then gets left by Goku on Earth as that bitch is exploding.
I also
save Satan and fucking leaves Gohan behind. It's so funny. I didn't realize that Goku was a bad father
until abridged.
Until I started reading people's comments about it. I was like, he's fucking not
terrible. Great. He's never there. He was never there.
And then at the end of fucking Z, he's like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know,
train
this
this
guy
kid.
needs, like, I'll see y'all in a couple of years. I'm gonna go train. Like, the dude can do instant transmission, but he's like, I'm gonna see y'all in a couple of years. Bye. Like, dude can fly wherever he wants as fast as he can. I mean, but nah.
I don't
By
really
the
feel
way,
like
I've
being a
always loved-
dad,
What are you
so I'm
talking
just
about?
gonna die. Like,
I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
right.
stay
Well, we can
dead.
wish him back. Nah, no, absolutely not. I don't want family responsibility. I will stay with King Kai. Thank you very much.
they even summon the dragon
Good night,
to get
everyone.
Goku back, and he's just like, no, I don't want to.
No. The dragon's like, I can't bring him back. Like, why? He's like, he doesn't want to come. I can't force. Apparently, I can do everything, but I can't force him to come.
Sorry, Piccolo.
All right.
You're gonna have to watch Gohan for
Oh,
a while
man.
longer.
By the way, I've always loved Dragon Ball Z's impeccable timing as far as the timeline of things happening on the show. Namek took 30 episodes to go through 5 minutes. Legit.
Dude.
And also
Namek
don't,
is like half
do
that
not forget
series.
that during the Buu saga, that entire saga took place in a day because Goku had 24 hours.
Oh, what the
So-
fuck?
Oh, did
Yeah.
I just ruin that for you too, Rodney? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When they brought him back, and he had the little halo over his
hilarious,
head, they
though, is,
specifically told him like you can only like you're here for the tournament. You've got 24 hours. The entirety of the Buu saga takes place in a day. If you go by that logic.
before I started watching Super, I remember I was like, I'm gonna watch Z again all the way through, but I was watching Kai, so it's like only 97 episodes compared to
Right.
the 300 plus of the original series, I think. So, and I was like, I watched it, and then at some point when Trunks and Vegeta are training in this little fucking gravity machine that they have at Capsule Corp, he mentions about if he can hit him, if Trunks can hit Vegeta, he'll take him to that damn amusement park. And I can't tell you, I was so fucking excited when they actually fucking came back with that in Super. Fucking seeing Vegeta pissed off as shit next to Trunks on a roller coaster in an amusement
Oh,
park.
that's
Like,
right.
Yes.
I keep forgetting. Super
Yes.
takes place before the end of Z. Technically.
Superheroes
And
like years
Superhero-
later.
And let me tell you, and you said you didn't watch
Wait, what,
Superhero,
Brad?
huh?
I was saying superheroes like
Dude.
years after Super.
Right.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is fucking Bulma. They shine the light on Bulma in a way that they never did in the series, and it's like, oh, fucking Bulma.
Yeah. This whole time she's been calling the dragon.
Sounds like
so
I'm gonna
she
have
could-
to. Sounds like I'm actually gonna have to watch this.
Do I spoil it? I mean,
It's good.
I mean, what difference does it make?
all these years,
spoil
like every
everything
year,
anyway.
she summons the dragon and doesn't tell anybody, so she can basically get free like dragon Botox.
I did read about
That's why.
that.
That's why
That's
she's.
how she
she
stays.
always,
That's how she
never
stays
ages.
youthful.
Yes.
This whole time she's been calling the
sense.
dragon and doesn't tell anybody.
Makes sense.
And she gets 3 wishes, so she's getting like other shit too. Just like irrelevant, stupid shit.
But it's interesting. It's worth watching because just of the story and the way that they position Capsule Corp and the people on Earth. It's funny. It's worth a watch. I enjoyed it.
I'll
for
have
what
to.
it was.
I mean, I need to. I was going to at some point.
So I got
But
curious, and I
Just haven't
googled
tracked
real
it
quick
down yet.
on my Googler. How long is a day in Dragon Ball? Because I
Did you
started
Google
to think
that?
about it. Maybe the days are fucked up because Homeboy did kind of destroy the moon.
Which I love the continuity on that because you never see another night after that. Like they didn't just like forget that he blew up the moon.
I don't know. Well, that was abridged. I was gonna say because Goku and Chi-Chi did have some Kamehameha time.
Yeah, but
And,
that's abridged.
But okay, I googled how long a day is in Dragon Ball. The first answer, top answer, about 5 Frieza minutes.
Dude, their use, I'll not even say use, but their flow of time is much like those last two seasons.
You have
of
no
Game of
fucking
Thrones.
idea.
It's just, it is what it is. Oh, no, it's not, because like Frieza Saga ends, 3 years ends is like a few minutes. Next episode, everybody's meeting Trunks to fucking, after 3 years of like training, everybody's meeting Trunks to see what he's all about when Goku's arriving back on Earth. It's like fucking time is just
And then you get to the hyperbolic
fucked
time
up in
chamber,
Z in a
which
big
really
way.
fucks up time.
Right. Which I remember thinking, like, man, they used to go into the hyperbolic time chamber a lot. And it's just like, no, I've just seen those. I just saw those episodes
I think
so many fucking times back then.
I think in the
that
actual
it
show,
seemed like
the
they were
limit was
always in the
twice.
hyperbolic time chamber.
Consecutively.
Oh, back to back?
Yeah.
I think it was twice in a lifetime.
No, I
Was
think
it?
it's twice in
Yeah.
a lifetime.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was. I thought it was 2 days consecutive.
Some of those characters don't use that second time until like in Super, I think, for like one of the tournaments.
infinite bullshit.
So I was like, oh shit. It's like they really it's like, man. I was very disappointed about Gotenks and what he ended up turning out to be.
He ended up
It's like,
turning
oh,
into
he's
two
annoying
fucking
as
kids
fuck.
fused together. What more could you have expected?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why
literally
Yeah, no, you're
literally
not
two
wrong.
children.
That's
You're
why
not
I
wrong.
started to say before, I think one of my favorite movies was actually The Return of Broly, when Broly came to Earth and he fought
Yes.
Goten and Trunks, and they like beat him up and like peed on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember watching a clip of that in Japanese before
it
I'd
was like
ever
watching the
seen
Dragon
Ball
Tom
Goten-
and
I think
Jerry.
Goten-
20 years later.
I think like Goten pissed on him and Trunks like flipped him off or something.
Yeah, it was like watching a Tom and Jerry episode, but like shooting lasers out of their hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was just
man.
like chasing him around
Dude.
the whole time while they like
Oh man.
kept tripping him up and like making him look stupid. I'm like, this is so dumb. But I loved it.
I'll never forget. Really, really early on, I was collecting them on VHS because that was still a thing,
God, you're old.
and I loved it because the side of the box, if you put all the seasons together, they all made like this big long like panoramic like picture. Suncoast, baby,
Yeah.
Suncoast. If anybody remembers that fucking place.
Yeah, they did.
Dude, I brought that
And they
place
were like,
up last
"What?"
week to somebody at work. When I told them that I bought G Savior, the Canadian made for TV Gundam movie.
Dude, Suncoast was the shit. It was the only place to get anime.
Dragon Ball was a gateway that made me buy a live action Canadian Gundam movie.
Oh, I have figured
I mean.
out the series for Dragon Ball online.
Yes.
It's Dragon Ball AF.
Yes. After Future, something like that, I think is what it is.
No, I
Yeah.
it's as fuck.
That's sure.
Dragon Ball as fuck.
As
Sure.
the kids would say.
As
fuck.
the kids would say. You're
But
right.
I'm
as
sure
the
I'm
kids
sure
would
it
say.
means like yeah.
But yeah, no, Dragon Ball was I'm sure Dragon Ball is a gateway to the world of anime for a lot of people.
Yeah. I couldn't
It's like
couldn't do
it's
it.
like Scarface
I
for the
couldn't
hip hop
do it.
community.
I would watch Dragon Ball and I would stick around for the rest of Toonami and all. They'd show Bleach and whatever the fuck else. I couldn't get into.
See, I couldn't do Bleach.
I couldn't get into anything else they would show.
Oh my god, dude! It was Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon,
I mean, Sailor
Tenchi
Moon I was
Muyo.
into.
which led to my favorite anime of all time, Cowboy
Mhm.
Bebop, to Gundam, to fucking
Couldn't do
Vampire Hunter D,
Couldn't do
to now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, to fucking dude, it snowballed from there.
I remember getting home and be like, I get home at time like before 3:30, right before Pokemon came on
Damn.
fucking UPN.
UPN.
I'd watch it, and then immediately after, fucking Dragon Ball would be on
See, Pokemon and
Toonami,
Sailor
so
Moon
I'd
never
fucking
felt like
tune into
animes
that.
to me, so that's why I'm not categorized it. But they were, but
Oh,
like
they definitely were.
they definitely were, but like they didn't. Those are all still very entry level
Sailor Moon.
because once you start getting into like anime, it is as I always say, like when you get to like the games and stuff, it's like, god damn, it's so Japanesey. It's like they have a style and they have a way to do things, and just like as a full-blooded American, I just like weirded out. I'm just like overwhelmed. Like I don't know what's going on. So like
because it's very Japanese.
So that's why I've kind of stuck with Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, and have you ever watched Cells at Work?
No.
Treat yourself.
God damn it! I gotta finish.
Cells
My
at
Hero.
Work
Fuck.
is everybody in the show. It's like living in the normal community, like in a city, except everybody is either like a T cell or a white blood cell or a red blood cell or like a part of the body. And the city that they're living in is the person's body, like a part of their body. And like they're just going about their day, doing their job, and basically what they're doing is keeping the person alive. So like,
this is Osmosis Jones.
So like,
Ozzy and Drix, baby. Ozzy and
Sarah's into all that because she treats this stuff, and so like, you know, last year's season was like,
oh,
the dude,
okay,
like, fell and hit his head. So like the whole season was like them trying to repair this guy who was having a cascade of problems.
Fucking hematoma.
Yeah, basically after like getting a concussion and like just everything went to shit. And then this one is like trying to keep a healthy body like at work in the new season. It's so fucking anyway. It's so crazy. No lasers and stuff, but
I mean, I get it though. Like, I've been into anime, but there's only so far that I'll go. And usually, like, the stuff that I like is more action oriented. It's Dragon Ball, and it's lately it's been Big Giant Robots. But then
you
there's
don't
also
want to watch all.
I hated the Big O at first, but after watching it so many times, I became a fan of it.
3,700 episodes of One Piece.
Don't you fucking say! God damn it!
No, not at all. See, I'm too old to commit to anything that's super long.
Ends. It just goes
Rodney,
on.
I will say that I gave it a legit shot. I made it to like episode 21.
Oh damn! You didn't even get.
I gave it a legit shot, and then I was like, I'm fucking done. I can't.
You just learned who the main characters, like 3 of them's names at this point.
Pretty much, and I'm sure I forgot them all. Except for Luffy.
The first arc hasn't even started.
Now you got to rewatch those other 21.
Technically, I was still fucking. Who was it? The Michael Jackson guy, whatever the fuck his name was. But anyway, with that show, I can't deal with the character designs. I just can't. It's too off the wall. It's too fucking weird. Yep. It's too stylized. Yep. I can't.
It's what deterred me from ever watching.
You fucking drop everything you're doing and you watch that shit right now. It is great.
I'm an animation snob.
Animation snob? See, and that's... I am to a certain extent, Academia. But I'm also... Oh, fucking phenomenal. Have you watched Demon Slayer?
No.
That's peak animation. Like, it is a beautiful...
I'll be the judge of that.
Beautifully animated show.
Yeah, like thrillers. How about Paranoia Agent?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
More gateway anime. Dragon Ball leads to Ghost in the Shell, which leads to Akira.
Yes.
Which leads to Perfect Blue, to which then led me down the rabbit hole to all of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. So Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle.
Before I ever knew what it was, before I really discovered and got hooked into Dragon Ball, I did discover Ghost in the Shell on Showtime, as well as Ninja Scroll on Showtime.
I was only interested.
What the fuck is this?
I was only interested in one part.
I was like, what is this?
The beginning. Yeah.
The
beginning.
floating down.
The beginning
with no
intro.
clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a what is it? Sci-Fi Channel way back in the day used to run anime movies on I think like weekends, like Saturdays and Sundays. So I watched a lot of shit there, like Galaxy Express 39, Robot Carnival I think was another one. Demon City Shinjuku was another one. Like it's all like really old, like early 90s, late 80s, but
Oh, I know. Wes.
fucking amazing stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's fucking Dragon Ball it just leads you to more shit. And it just gave me an appreciation for it gave me such a different perspective on cartoons and animation in general. I was like, I watched this and I'm like, whoa, like somebody actually like hand drew this and hand animated this. And then you go back and they're fucking each other up. And then I go back and I'm watching like American cartoons like Ren and Stimpy and like Rocco and Thundercats or whatever, and I'm like, this just isn't the same.
You watch
like,
your mouth.
Actually, I think Thundercats is technically anime too, but either way,
Voltron.
Like going back to watching American, Voltron's anime.
I'm sorry, I missed. I thought you were talking about Samurai
anime.
Pizza Cats. My bad.
Which is criminally underrated, by the way. Yeah. That fucking show is great.
Oh, you want another underrated? I was just about to say Bonkers. You remember Bonkers?
Bonkers. I do remember Bonkers.
I know you do.
For sure.
What?
No?
No, I don't remember that.
Bonkers was the shit.
I used to love it. Bonkers and
what else?
Pompeii. It was that variety show that used to come on.
Before Gundam, there was Robotech. That's what I used to watch. Robotech, Macross.
Oh.
And, of course, Speed Racer was anime before anybody knew what anime was.
You see, I grew up on Johnny Quest.
And see, that was all before I ever heard of fucking Gundam.
I couldn't. Again, like going back and watching something like Johnny Quest and watching fucking Dragon Ball, I was like, no, it's fucking this Japanese shit is like so much better. Just is.
Yeah,
but
I loved it.
Anyway, yeah.
That dude's lying on the ground. His back is broke. Oh, and the other one just threw his ass in the sky and blew him up. That's fucking dope. The little guy. Nappa hates the media.
I'm a ghost. Vegeta.
Dude, again.
Bonkers.
I've said this many times on this channel. Oh, nice. But fucking Dragon Ball, in a way, led me back to wrestling. After fucking listening to that fucking podcast. I was like, God damn. I never knew it. I never knew it. And then you're like, I don't know. It's like, holy shit. Wrestling is fucking anime. It's
wrestling, video games, and anime seem to all go hand in hand.
Then something in my mind unlocked. I was like, something in my mind just unlocked at that point. And then I understood wrestling a little bit better. And I was like, I need to watch wrestling again. I need to see those old Nitro stuff.
I can see the parallels a lot better now. Because even just a few years ago when I really put it together, when I started watching My Hero, the first season, and in Super, really. And then, like, it used to kind of bother me how, like, we would have Frieza minutes. 1 minute would be, like, 3 episodes. And then I put it all together, and then I lined it up when I started watching wrestling. And it puts the storyline of the feuds and everything, like, into perspective. Because, like, in regular cartoons, you had Tom and Jerry chase each other, smash each other, fucking whatever. You have the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles would go out. They would do their thing, have a dialogue, fight, whatever. You don't know what's going on in any of them's head. And I started reading Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and you get all that internal, like, struggle going on, like, the entire time. You would turn around and have, like, a whole chapter of the person just going through everything in their head when only
and that's
5
exactly
minutes.
How anime is set up.
5 minutes happened in the actual book or the story. but everything, all this
Right.
shit went on in their head. Now you get like so much more in depth, like understanding of what's going on everywhere.
Well, that's how
So
a
like
lot.
I started to
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
understand it a
anime is
lot
set
more.
up that way. All that internal monologue.
But Goku is like the fucking biggest
But then-
baby face, the dumbest, most
But then you-
He's
motherfucking
our
baby
truth.
face
then
that
you had
ever
Goku,
exists.
who would do all these things, and like the whole time, if you
And
gave
then-
his internal too much, it would just be the fucking chimp with the fucking
Yeah.
symbols. Fight, 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 fight. Like,
Food. Fight, 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 fight.
Goku,
Food.
whose only motivation he needs to learn something is, I don't know, I
That
just
was
wanted
it.
to try
That's
it,
right.
and I did it. I'm gonna place my hand on your bald ass head, Krillin, and see what
Yeah, I don't
just
wanna talk
happened
to you.
here. What just occurred?
What was his
And then
famous line
fucking-
when he beat Raccoon
I don't know.
back in the like one of the dubs? It was like, "Oh well, I just saw an opening to attack, so I did."
yeah.
It's like, all right, cool,
Yeah,
good logic. I like it.
he doesn't cut much of a promo, but his fucking
his
dude, his in ring
technical
is
skills are through the
fucking
roof.
top notch.
You think because you're the prince of all
Oh
Saiyans
man, Nev.
that you're the best you are at what you do.
Well, I'm here to tell you.
Like, hold on. Vegeta's about to address his enemies. Hold on.
Yeah, go.
No, Dodoria, you know
I'm gonna
you
deck you
fuck,
in the
you
schnoz.
fucking suck.
What?
Mondo cool.
Oh man,
The memes.
The fucking memes.
8,000.
Oh God,
It's over 9,000.
9,000.
8,000.
It's definitely
That's
9,000.
definitely 8,000.
No, it's definitely over
You're
9,000.
the Japanese man here. Come on, it's 8,000.
Hey, turns out power
Hey.
level means shit.
What's your
By
power
the end
level?
of the day,
Mine's pretty
power
high.
level means shit.
It's over 8,000 is the original manga. U.S.
Is it?
messed it up and made it 9,000. And then
Yeah,
they messed
9,000
it all
better.
up and said power levels don't mean shit. So
You're right. Eventually, they just became power levels are bullshit.
then none of it made sense anymore.
They'll just
Dude, I remember like
one of the funniest things that would always crack me up when I was listening to that podcast was like, all right, so what? The Saiyans, they get close to death, they get stronger. Well, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go lock myself in the closet and asphyxiate myself until I get stronger, and then fucking
Dude,
bust out
I'll
and
never
go kick
forget.
ass.
I'll
Like,
never
no.
forget being again like back in the day, being in middle school, high school, going. When the internet became a thing and going, Frieza's power level's 3 million. Oh my god, what sells power level? Let's find out.
Right.
Like by that point, it didn't even fucking matter anymore. But it was like
Wasn't even Google. It was
that was the
AOL
thing, is-
search.
it was like, oh, Krillin's power level's 10,000, strongest human alive. It'll never get any better.
It's like, what?
Solar flare.
And yet he had the most OP fucking technique that he was never allowed to actually use.
You never hit anybody with it.
That's the problem. Because if he did, they'd be fucking dead.
This whole time, yeah, he was fucking John
That-
Wick, and he fucking couldn't pull
Dude,
the
that
trigger.
fucking destructive disc, man. A move so OP, he was never allowed to hit anyone with it.
He was Wolverine's claws in the fucking X-Men cartoon.
Yeah.
He like never. You go back and watch that. Go back and watch the whole X-Men cartoon in the '90s. Not once did he ever stab anyone.
It's like Leonardo's swords with Ninja Turtles.
He would pull them
Just not
out.
allowed
They would
to-
start fighting. The only thing he was allowed to stab were the Sentinel robots.
That's it.
Not once did he draw
You're right.
blood. Take notes, Moxley.
We need at least 2 in this
Right.
episode
John
for
Moxley
Wolverine to
watching.
stab.
This sucks. He didn't stab
Oh,
himself
man.
in the head once. But fucking
But yeah, I mean, and then just kind of crossing into like other things like Toriyama and Dragon Ball. Like he had such a distinct style. Like anytime he did any character design for anything outside of that, like you knew, like, oh, yep, Akira Toriyama made the character designs for Chrono Trigger. Why? Well, because that guy looks like Goku with a sword.
Dragon
But yeah,
Quest.
Dragon Quest. Yeah. Oh, look, it's
Yeah.
Trunks with a
Dragon
sword.
Quest is another one.
Oh, look, there's Boo.
Yeah.
But not quite. There's this bug guy that looks like Cell, but he's not Cell. Like he had a very, very, very like that was his style, and that was all he could do. But he sure as fuck did a lot with it. Like you'd think you'd be really fucking limited in what you could come up with.
Yeah.
He'd find a way to tweak it just enough.
I think ultimately, like I was surprised at how much I enjoyed Super. Like after I started watching it, I was like, I mean, fuck, this thing feels like Dragon Ball except refined and looks a lot better. I was like, man,
They added the.
I think
they
it took
added
me
the
a little while to
dialogue.
get
amazing.
into Super. Well, it took me a little while to get into it because, like, at first I was like, Frieza again, he's back. Like, it's just a fucking retread. And then, yeah, like it expanded and like
well, what
fucking went into multiverse theory and shit. And I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that.
so by the time I watched it, I think 4 or 5 had been dubbed. Season 4 or 5 had been dubbed. The 2 movies have been out. So I watched the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and then did not watch the Super series. I did not watch that stuff on the Super series, and kind of started after that. Then came back to it after
I don't know. It was
finished
weird
up what
'cause,
I
like,
could.
I do remember, like,
I
I
was
watched Battle of Gods. I think I watched that one like on DVD or Blu-ray or something. I didn't catch it in theaters, and then Resurrection F came out, and I absolutely went to the theater to go watch it. And then Super came out, and then yeah, like I was like, the first arc was basically Resurrection F, and I was like, whatever. And then they had that goofy like, all those filler episodes with this. They were playing baseball or whatever they were doing, and I'm like, this is lame.
So you gotta
skipped
love
all
Dragon
that.
Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, I don't hate Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I haven't made my way all the way through Dragon Ball. I understand that Dragon Ball is very different from Z.
The start of each arc
And
was
Super-
very slow.
Very.
I will
And
admit that. Yeah.
I think that's what kind of turned me off from Super for a while. And then the first tournament happened when they introduced Hit. And I was hooked after that. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this Hit dude is like the shit.
Yep.
He's like my favorite character. Absolutely, bar none.
Dude, not even like so Goku, that battle between fucking Goku and Hit is like one of my it's probably one of my favorites throughout the entire series. The moment when he's fucking stacking Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan God, the fucking scream that's coming out of his voice, I was like, what the fuck is going on? This
I think I enjoyed it.
fucking awesome.
I think I enjoyed
I was
that
like,
fight
holy
so much
shit.
because it was the first time that you got Goku the strategist. Like Goku actually had to like think his way around
Right.
how to get around the time skip thing. And you'd never really gotten that before. It was like every
Right.
time before that it was get my ass beat, find a way to power my way through it, and like just basically hit the other guy harder.
That's
you
still
know,
kind of all
be
he
more
did.
powerful than the guy in front of me.
He just kept powering
but
up
not
until
really.
he was fast enough to like.
But he had to. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Instead of getting
but
stronger, he was just getting.
he had
faster.
to actually. But he had to actually think about it. Like, how do I get around this? You know, but then again, every time he figured it out, Hit kind of threw out something a little bit different.
He wasn't
Until basically he did power up to the point where it was like, okay, I'm as faster than you are, but whatever.
Dude, that's kind of like the whole point of Super is like fucking the only thing Goku knows is stacking strength on top of strength. That's fucking, and you know, it's.
I could have done.
I mean, that was kind of what they established in the series between him and Vegeta is like Goku is just fucking fly by the seats without
that's why he's so
really
good at
thinking.
Ultra Instinct. It's
whatever.
finally the perfect form where he doesn't have to think. That's his weakness.
Right.
His weakness, yes, his weakness
He's
is
fucking
thinking.
just unconscious.
Is that
I
fucking
don't
that
know.
monkey's
Right.
I
just
think
in
that's
there
the one
fucking
thing.
chiming away.
I think that was the one thing that the only other thing that I don't like about Super is that I didn't like that's where they went. It was like, okay, Super Saiyan God, then you went Super Saiyan Blue, and then
Well,
you went
that's what the shame
Ultra
is.
Instinct, and is that really all they have?
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna keep just coming up with different hair colors,
But that's
to
what
signify,
sucks
like,
about
the
them
strength.
not continuing now, and they can't now because Toriyama was gonna do Daima anyway. But like they do in the manga, they finally have it to where like Goku and Vegeta are both like viable assets. Like before, it was just like Vegeta would come in, say his cool tagline, and fucking get his ass beat. Like, and then Goku would have to save the day. But like they started to diverge with like equal
lot.
power, but in different methods. Where you had like
Yeah, because
Vegeta
has like the
asshole
God
tactic.
of Destruction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's using like destructive powers now, and like the more he gets his ass beat, the stronger he gets. Whereas Goku over here is like,
turn off brain.
right.
It's like
So that made it cool,
yeah,
that they were still
yeah.
It wasn't just like them coming up learning the same shit and like constantly wanting to fight each other. It was like now they're completely different paths again, and now when they fight each other again,
It's just hilarious to me that Goku's the main character of the show when Vegeta's the one who had like the absolute most character development out of anyone on that show.
Like
Yeah.
through his entire time in the series,
He is the only one who
Like,
has like
the
a
entire
continuing
time.
story arc where he is just constantly changing and like growing as a person, whereas Goku basically has stayed exactly the same.
Yeah.
Daddy Vegeta.
Yeah. That was awesome. Like, I thought it was awesome when they introduced fucking Universe 6 Saiyans. I was like, oh, shit. I want to see a movie with fucking Vegeta going to Universe 6.
Kaba. I didn't like Kaba at all.
Saiyans. And...
Was it Kaba? Yeah.
Little dude.
Yeah.
No, but dude. I liked
Kefla
and
what a Truffle, whatever the fuck her sister's name was.
They would turn into they combine to turn into Jordan
I don't
Grace.
know.
Thank you. Yeah.
Kale.
That's right.
Kale.
They were cool. I liked her. She was interesting, but Kaba, yeah, he can go kick rocks. I didn't give a shit about him. I didn't like all that Vegeta worship.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's a simp. I'm not talking about him. I just like Vegeta having other Saiyans that he can fucking interact with, and fucking somebody that isn't just
love
Goku.
That they also have their own equivalent of Frieza in that universe.
That dude's lame as fuck. What was his name even? I don't remember.
Chill or fucking Frost. Maybe.
Frost. Yeah. Dude uses
I love his racket.
Kind of shit.
His storyline of what he does is he goes down and he sends his goons in and like destroys everybody, attacks the planet, and has everything go to shit. And then like he swoops in and like gets the planet to pay him to save the day, and basically just like destroys all his own fucking people to like show he means business, and like collects the money and then like takes over the planet anyway. Like it's like
that seems awfully convoluted.
He just like travels. He just travels.
Why not just take over? Why not just take over the planet?
He just yeah.
Like why have all the steps in between?
He just travels the universe making money.
Hey, entrepreneur.
Because if they give it up, it sticks. If you give up give up their power, it sticks.
I suppose. Shit's fucking funny.
Yeah,
I love now that I look back at Kefla and Cauliflower, and I see fucking Jordan Grace when she powers up.
Oh my God, you're right. Now it can't. Now it can't be unseen.
When she goes
Muscle
berserk.
mommy.
Yes.
Is Kefla the fusion?
So
Okay.
sticking on with Super, my to me the best part of Super is the fact that Android 17 finally got his day in the sun. I was so happy to see him come back and actually do something of significance. Because man, because
Talking
fucking
about fucking Dragon Ball
because
time.
fucking Dragon Ball Z like dropped him like a fucking bad habit. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
What you talking about, man? He showed up in like the last episode and
Oh
held up
yeah,
two guys to
wow.
put their arms up to give Goku spirit
Well, he
bomb
ran
energy.
away when
But that
homeboy wished the bombs out of him. He was just like, okay, I'm out.
yeah, it was like I'm out. I'm gonna go be a rain forest.
Like the most wholesome motherfucker too. Yeah, I like 17 and what they did with him in Super, and that last tournament, man. That last arc was, I enjoyed it. It took a little bit to get there, but I really enjoyed it. And fucking, I don't know, man. I ended up buying the last bits of that season on fucking Prime, and then watching, I don't know, like when Goku goes Ultra Instinct and fucking Vegeta is sitting there like, you fucking, have you not been watching this shit? Every time we get in the fucking bind, the Saiyans power up and fucking move on.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
you
know shit
motherfuckers
about
don't
us.
know anything.
That's what happens when you wipe out an entire species before studying them.
Vegeta shed a tear. Shit's about to get fucked up.
Vegeta was always like Goku's little chihuahua. Like, he talks the most shit. All and his biggest accomplishment is like being besties with the strongest person in the universe.
Yeah, right.
He was always the one to talk shit, but like Goku was always the one to clean up the mess.
And then fucking again in Super, like there's fucking
And-
Tien in the Tournament of Power. Like, why? You know you're outmatched, but I'm gonna fucking do it anyway.
Try me.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'm out.
Fuck it,
Not
why
even
not?
trying. I'm out. Fuck it.
But
No,
that was-
don't pick
that
me.
was-
As a matter of fact, don't even consider me.
That was my favorite part with that though, is they found ways to bring in everybody. Like
Even fucking Roshi.
they found ways
Yeah.
because they all had fighting experience, so they found
Yeah.
ways to bring them in because every other, not every fucking universe was full of Gokus, except for the
No.
one.
And Gohan was the leader of the
I
group
guess.
or whatever.
The one time
I don't know.
that father and
It's like
son
that dude
got
got
some bonding
jacked.
time was when they were training before the tournament.
Right. It only took the threat of destroying all the
On
universes.
a fucking whim.
But hey. Right. I get Goku is the reason why that
'cause he
fucking
made a
tournament
selfish
existed to
fucking
begin
decision. Like, I'll just tell everybody later that the entire multiverse is at stake. Like, the fuck? What a dick.
Dumbass.
Goku's truly the villain of
with.
the show.
Terrible father.
He showed his true colors. He has no regard for anyone but himself.
That was my other favorite. Like I was really hard getting into Super in the beginning because like I was like, what do you mean like the biggest baddest dude like ever just showed up and like the only way to get him to cooperate is to feed him? I was like, this is stupid. I was like, this is so dumb. And then like I got a few episodes in and I was like, I love this. And then it got to the part where Vegeta promised Beerus like the Earth's best cuisine and he's been holding it in and not telling him. And I was like, oh God, here it comes. And then I was like, right before it happened, I told myself, I was like, there's no way it's fucking instant ramen. Sure enough,
It's Japan.
He
Of
pulls
course
out
it's
the fucking
instant
cup of
ramen.
instant ramen, and here I am with the instant ramen. I'm like, you're fucking right, dude. He's not lying.
Is that right before? It's like right before fucking
My
Vegeta goes off on
Bulma!
Beerus for hitting Bulma.
I was like, damn, that dude he actually
holy
cares.
shit.
God damn, that thing must be nice. Turn Vegeta around. Is it cake?
Well, now you know. Now we know the secret. She's been. Now we know the secret. She's been hitting the Dragon
it
Balls
might be cake
every 6 months to a year.
at this point.
It might be cake.
Parunga, make it cake.
Oh man, jeez.
But yeah,
Oh,
no more.
man.
We're here reminiscing on all the Dragon Balls, but no more.
I mean,
somebody might do. Yeah, but it's
yeah.
It's gonna be
again,
Game of Thrones without R.R. Martin.
So perfect segue into my massive hate for Dragon Ball GT. A show that was made with little to no input from Toriyama.
Suck it, Wes.
And that's the shit that they fucking regurgitated.
Suck it.
The
Wes.
worst.
I enjoyed it. For what it was.
Good. Don't.
I never watched
Don't.
it.
But that's the thing.
Don't
I enjoy
have
it
it.
for what it was, but
I never
at the same
watched
time, it's neck and neck with me with Dragon Ball Z. After seeing Dragon Ball Super, like the movie, Dragon Ball Z, I guess what is it, 3-4?
I gotta
series
finish
now?
watching Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z is in GT or 3 and 4 for me. I like Super and Dragon Ball more than Z. But Z opened the door for me, so it's a nostalgia.
Hopefully
thing
they don't.
Right.
also. But when you really go back and you watch the
Yeah.
in-depthness that they, or whatever you want to fucking call it, that they gave Super, and then you look at old Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z had nothing in between. It was very Goku is the man. Goku's the only one that can win anything. Everybody's getting left in the dust. There's not much dialogue. Let's fight. I was like,
Or it is. It's just it's sprinkled in there compared to the scene, the action scenes and whatever throughout the series. There's just not enough of it across 300 plus episodes. I couldn't tell you what any of those, other than I know at some point, I don't remember actually watching this episode. I know at some point Goku and fucking
Yes.
Piccolo get their
Yes, they
driver's
do.
license. But that's the only thing that I remember. And the whole Piccolo thing with Pan makes sense now. He's fucking Grandpa Piccolo now.
That's his life.
Gohan also not great father.
Genetics run strong.
he tries.
Yeah.
Just not great. He had nobody to learn from.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Piccolo to learn from. What the fuck you thought? Well,
didn't have
he's not a
he
good.
didn't-
Well, Piccolo's the best
Piccolo was
father
like a hermaphrodite. He had
the
no
best
real
father
man in
that
the
he
house
had.
to teach him how to be a fucking father. He was a slug man that produced by
Well, he was. I mean,
asexually.
they are born from eggs, right?
Right. So he had no real fatherly presence. He just had a caretaker. I have a
Let me throw
name
this
for
kid
it,
at
but I
this
can't
mountain
say
and see
it on
what
the
happens.
podcast. I don't think it's questionable.
I'm training this child who won't stop crying.
I'll
and
say-
listen to me. Let me throw him out at this mountain and see what happens.
Right.
Throw him in the pool.
Just fucking blew up the moon.
Basically, yeah.
And then Vegeta comes down and is like, well, this planet has a moon. Where the fuck is it?
It's not there anymore. Bro.
It's
Sorry.
not there anymore.
A day late. Fucking Nappa.
It was funny. That podcast I always talk about, it's funny. One of the guys in it could not reconcile it being Earth, but then also having dinosaurs. And it's so another guy was like, so what? The flying, the beams coming out of your hands, that's cool. That's fine. But the dinosaurs is a little too much.
I could see it from his perspective, because you also had futuristic city flying cars.
The king is a dog.
The fact
The
that there's
king
a king
is a dog.
Was he
is
the
enough.
king, or was the
Who is a dog?
The sheriff or whatever was a dog too, wasn't he?
Or a president.
The head of the police and the army.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that there's a during the is it the Cell Games? During the Cell Games, before anybody ever knew what a Super Saiyan was, and people in the Earth don't know what Super Saiyan was. There was a dude in a big town square wearing a big shirt that said Saiyan on it. I can't tell you how many times I've thought about
Bad Man
getting
on
a
the back?
fucking pink
They sell
shirt.
them.
I'm
and putting
sure if
Bad
you went to
Man on the back
Amazon,
of
you
it.
could. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm sure
You
you
can
can
buy
find
them at
it.
Box Lunch and Hot Topic. And
Yeah. Oh,
I got
man.
the pop.
Fucking the apparel
The
in
style?
Dragon Ball. Or not even the apparel. The sports drink
E-Tap.
that Goku drinks on his way to
E-Tap.
Namek. Or it's either sports drink. It's either sports drink or beer. He gets out of the tub, goes into his closet, opens up his closets. It's a closet full of orange
The number one
geese, 'cause
drink in
it's-
like
Space
Master
Of course,
Rushing.
it's fucking
I'm
Goku.
drinking coffee. Now it's a tea. Now it's a beer.
Oh man, dude, how quick it took fucking Bulma and fucking Gohan and Krillin to get to Namek versus how long it took Goku.
Again, time is relative.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget that the world's most
Anyway.
admired man in that series is a pro wrestler.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
Who? Satan?
Mr. Satan.
Satan.
Basically.
Yeah.
He's basically
I don't
Real
recognize
Hulk Hogan.
Hercule. It's just sitting there watching it, and I wish I would have saw this. I wish I would have seen this as a kid. It's just you sitting there watching it, like Satan is like fucking being hyped up by the crowd. There are a crowd of people behind him just sit.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Hail
Satan! They named an entire fucking city after him after the Cell Games.
Hercule.
They changed it to fucking Satan
But they-
City.
I used to. Am I the only one? I used to like this. This was before I really I compared it to wrestling. But I used to get mad. Like I'd be watching this and they'd be hyping him up, and then he would do something, and then he would suck, and I'd be like, God damn it, dude! Like I hate this motherfucker. Like why do they keep showing this dude? This is so stupid. And then as I got older and I start watching wrestling again, 2017 or so, and they're forcing Roman down my mouth, down my throat. I'm like, I get it now.
He lives the gimmick.
Like the reason they keep putting him out there is because we keep fucking booing him. Like because I'm getting mad, so they're gonna keep fucking throwing him down my throat.
Just remember, Mr. Satan's keeping kayfabe alive, all right?
Yeah, I didn't realize 20 years ago I had heat.
Dude, he keeps kayfabe alive. Dude, he keeps kayfabe alive around Videl. Videl doesn't find out that he's full of shit
Y'all
until
haven't
the
watched Young
fucking
Rock, but
tournament's
he's
happening.
Rocky. He's Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Johnson?
Yeah, Rocky Johnson. Not Maivia. But yeah, he's Rocky Johnson. He's
Yeah.
The Rock's dad. His whole thing was live the gimmick all the time. Live the gimmick.
That's what those guys did back then.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Work the gimmick is what it worked the gimmick.
Like Satan, Videl just got her ass whipped. You need to go say, oh, she's probably just slacking on her training.
No, dude.
no.
Her arms broke. She seriously needs help.
Come look at me whooping this dude's ass. I'm like, Jesus, dude. It was like watching his own fights on fucking VHS. Like, dude. And then he's sitting there next to Videl. This young dude just strolls in, gives her some kind of pill, and then takes off. And she's up and running. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
so I would just like a little slice of life, like type of shit. Like the perspective of the doctor when Mr. Popo flies up to the hospital window, hands over the sensu beans, gives fucking
He's in a
Goku a sensu
traction
bean
of
who's
full
been
fucking
fucking in
body
traction
cast.
and all kind of shit. Just boop, flexes out of everything and
Hello,
takes
maggots.
off. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that
All these squares
that was
make
something
a
that
circle.
really
All
that
these squares make a circle.
if I've ever
my
seen
favorite.
anything from Kai, fucking that has ruined fucking Popo for me.
He told Vegeta,
It's too much.
You
It's
better
too
not
true.
destroy the hyperbolic time chamber again.
The room of infinite bullshit. Oh man. And then there's a bridge that just kept Dragon Ball alive even further.
Do you think it's
Yes.
Akira Toriyama ever?
Parody
Do
perfection.
you think he ever puts out? Do
Which I just watched within the
Super
last
if
year.
There's no abridged.
I think so. I think he.
It might
I
have
think he
been
would have
different,
continued it at some point.
because he definitely
It probably would have been very.
he definitely
It
had
would have been very
inspiration.
different because it definitely the shit and the characterizations that they portray in a bridge definitely translate over into Super. Especially just how fucking dumb Goku really
Which makes it a
really
shame
is.
that Schemmel is Schemmel.
Yeah, I know. Schemmel being a fucking shill. But yeah, it's just you're
It's
right.
his one
It is
gig.
actually his one
It's his
gig.
one gig.
Maybe I shouldn't shit all over him. It's his whole life. That's all
It's
he's
a
got.
sweet gig.
He
is a
feels
pretty
like
sweet
because we're
gig.
making fun of Goku, we're making fun of him.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's what it is.
He thinks we're calling him dumb
Oh man.
and him a bad
I am
father.
hilarious, and you will quote everything that I say.
Now I gotta see. But yeah, that's.
Okay, just I mean, I have one more thing at least to bring up, or a question to ask y'all. What did y'all think about them actually canonizing Broly
It was due in
his
some
movie,
way.
his Super movie?
I'm happy that he's canon because it always felt like he should be. I don't know if I prefer this version of Broly over the old version. Jury's still out. But I'm glad he's canon. I don't mind the redesign so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer the more like just complete out of control fucking unhinged version of Broly from way back. But I think they did a good. I think they did a fine job canonizing him and giving him the backstory, keeping just enough backstory from the original version for it to make sense and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I guess I'm okay with it. I don't know if I like the. I don't know if I like the idea of
You should
kind of what Super's been doing, where Frieza shows up, comes back, is villain, somewhat becomes part of the team. Broly shows up, is villain, now is part of the team.
I mean, that's also, dude. That's been
I
a
know,
thing going way back to
that's where,
Dragon
like,
Ball.
again, like I have there's certain things that I'm against. I'm against stuff like
Jiren.
that, like retread of characters, retread of like, yes, everyone that Goku fights, he befriends. With the Cell's the only one that didn't get that. Yeah, but
He does come back though.
I don't
Spoiler
know.
alert.
He does come back, sort of. I think I'm more.
You should watch
I
Superhero.
think what I don't like now is I don't know if I like the way that they handled canonizing Bardock. I don't like it. I like the original Bardock tale from the movie more so than this new retelling that they did.
I forgot they did that.
Yeah. I don't like his new design. I kind of could have done without like Goku's mom. Not that I have a huge problem with it, but like I don't know. I don't feel like it was very. I don't think it was really very necessary.
Oh,
I like the idea of, you know, Bardock being able to see the future and all this crazy stuff that happened in the movie, more so than anything else.
shit.
Right.
Although I do need to read the manga for Super because I know they bring him back.
I have to
in the
now.
manga. But I don't know how. Like I don't know how that transpires.
It's selfish. He had to go and.
So I'm kind of.
Never mind.
Oh, what did I ruin? Did I ruin something else?
No,
Now?
I was saying I was calling Akira Toriyama selfish.
Oh, jeez. Dick.
Off the rails. Joking. Just
Always.
joking in the same way that I say it with George R. R. Martin, like never finishing his books. You know, like when he passes, I'm going to be like,
because he's
be
not.
like, he's so
Because
selfish.
he's not. Because he's not. That is good. That's going to be the ultimate twist to Game of Thrones.
And look, Akira Toriyama was not only writing his shit,
Right.
he was assisting, and they were animating
True.
his shit as well. So
Yeah, Schemmel did Pokemon too for 20 years. 63 episodes.
yeah, that's not surprising.
And he did a Japanese
think-
Lego movie, Lego Monkey Kid.
You'll find that
Okay.
A 9.1 on that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did a bunch of video games as well.
9.1 stars. I was curious about Schemmel. I'm trying to look up what all he did now.
I'm sure if you look at his credentials, it's Dragon Ball everything.
It's a lot of Dragon Ball. Obviously.
I mean, you figure every video game in existence.
And then Goldie and the Bear. What the fuck?
Every redub.
Sophia the First. He's on Sophia the First?
Yeah. I remember it had been years since I'd watched Dragon Ball. Then I went to go
He was
see
in God of War.
was it fucking Matrix Revelations.
For what?
Was it Revelations, that last one? Where fucking Smith
where they had their
and
anime
Neo
fight?
were just fucking flying around having their
Revolutions.
Dragon Ball fight. Revolutions, that's it.
Yeah, when the Matrix went full blown
I was like,
unhinged.
good lord.
This is This is live action anime wet dream.
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
I will not allow you to sit. I will not allow you to sit there and shit all over the Matrix.
No, The Matrix is a great movie.
All
the
three
first
of them
one is
are
a great
okay.
movie.
I was going to say, they did a good
They
job.
got
Basically,
progressively
they did a good job of
got
doing that to
worse
themselves.
as they went.
I don't know. I take it a different
Oh,
way.
shit.
As 3 standalone individual films, yes, they get progressively worse. As a trilogy of movies to watch back to back to back to back, I think it worked. I think it worked.
I had not watched them back to back to back.
Do they hold up?
hold up
Absolutely, they hold up.
nowadays?
I've watched those movies quite a lot. The only one that
The CG for
was
its
a bit of a
time
disappointment.
was way ahead, but like you go back and watch
It was
it's
way
like,
ahead.
God, that was cheesy.
I mean, it's
but,
aged.
You know.
No, I mean, you can tell that it's aged, but the movies themselves hold up really well.
Did you?
Yes, I watched
Did
Resurrection.
y'all watch that new one? Was it anything
No.
You heard that song.
good?
You don't want to watch that one
No.
back to back to back
No.
to back?
No.
Okay. No, I'll just watch the first John Wick and just
It's basically the
just,
Matrix all over
like,
again. Like that's it's
make myself
it's-
think it's.
they took the Matrix and just made a worse version of it.
It's like them
It's basically
revisiting fucking Men in Black. It was kind of just like they just tried to do the same thing.
It was literally the same thing. It was literally like it was Neo and Trinity live. They're back in the Matrix. Pull Neo out of Matrix, have him relearn that he's the one,
Yeah.
save Trinity. That was it.
It's Men in Black 3.
It
It was like they tried to pull Tommy Lee Jones back.
Yeah, it was a
everything.
retread of it was a retread of the original Matrix, only worse. It had some moments, but and then like there was this crazy like weird like meta thing going on where like Neo's in the Matrix, but he's a video game designer, and you get like this weird these weird like meta commentary thing, like he created a video game based off of the Matrix. So it's just like, yeah, it's
Oh god.
it's there's this meta thing going on in there too that just like
Enter the
but it's
Matrix
canon.
was not good.
Remember that.
Yeah,
It is canon.
It
is canon.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes. That's not. Wait, that's not the one that I played though. I don't. Wait, is that? Wait, which one is
I
that?
believe
Is that
so, yeah.
the PS2 game?
It's canon.
Okay.
Morpheus dies. He's still dead.
I really wish I would have been able to play that fucking Matrix MMO
It's so
that they had.
It's
I watched a giant bomb did an episode where they were like, hey, we're gonna play the Matrix or whatever, the Matrix online for the next 2 hours until they shut the servers down. And that's what they did. Everybody was just fucking just hanging around, fucking just doing whatever, and then eventually
Resurrections was crazy. It was like
gone.
basically just take everything that happened in the first 3 films and just pretend like it never happened, because it was like, yeah, everything that happened. Neo saves the world or whatever, but he's reinserted in the Matrix. You get 50 years of peace, and then the machines just go, fuck it, war again.
Yeah, he didn't eat the 3 umbilical cords.
Correct.
So he didn't get to fight the moon presence
Correct.
at the end. So he's not right. He didn't.
The hunt.
He didn't
continued,
stop
yes.
the hunt.
Not,
the hunt continues.
He did not ascend.
Yeah. We're talking about Bloodborne now.
I'm like,
Correct.
so
He did not become an old one.
I'm sitting over here. I'm still over here on Sean Schemmel, bro. I'm looking up his. I'm on his IMDb, bro. Some of the shit. Did y'all play Fallout 4?
No, I stopped at 3.
He's one of the. They had Strong. They had the big meat
I
guy
played
that
some
you could
of it.
recruit. He was Strong. He's in a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't think I played it.
He was
enough.
Carnage on a Marvel pinball game. He's Luke.
He's not Kaiba, is he?
He is Lucario in
No,
Super
he
Smash
was
Brothers.
he was Kaiba's brother.
Yeah, Super Smash Brothers. He's Lucario.
Oh, fuck that dude.
All of them.
Wait, which one? Because he
Wii
does
U.
have.
Oh.
No, I was to say which brother.
Let me see.
Because Kaiba does have an adopted brother.
He's in
that was
Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn.
put into some kind of.
Yeah, 4 episodes. He's
yeah?
Last Shoal and
character?
Mr. Bancroft.
So bit parts is what you're saying. He's
a
got a
game
bunch
that
of
I-
bit parts
that-
on his
Yeah.
resume.
A game the
He's
MOBA
not full
that
frontal.
I played a lot
That's
of.
all I-
Smite,
all I
with
care
Sun
about.
Wukong. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal.
Again,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. He's Bronx Stone.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
just bit
I
parts.
figured y'all
He's-
wouldn't.
Oh, I know
He's
who that
fucking
is.
Goku. Like everything else on there doesn't matter.
Yeah,
in One
he's
Piece.
just Goku. Because like voice actors, they
Did
do all
Tom
kind
and
of
Jerry-
shit that you
a lot
just
of them
don't
Tom
even
and Jerry
realize.
did a Tom and Jerry version of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. He's in that. He's the Candy Man.
Jesus.
Phil Lamar is a homosexual vampire in Metal Gear Solid, except he's not a vampire. He's
True.
just nanomachines.
And I'm pretty sure he's also a character in Futurama. So, yeah. Yeah, we've gone off track.
Anyway, we've
Hey, I'm
gone
still
off,
someone in the
but,
ballpark.
you know,
I'm someone in the ballpark.
Matrix
I'm
was
still
inspired
on
by
Sean
Dragon
Schemmel.
Ball for sure. Definitely.
True. Guess I'll give you that.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He did a lot of that.
Well, it sucks to hear like that. We lost somebody that was we didn't, but that Akira
anime world
Toriyama has passed
lost
away.
a big one.
It's
Very
yeah,
Which
it's
I had no idea until
major
right before we
impact on
started recording this. Y'all dropped that on
all
me. I
of
had
our
no idea.
lives.
I just literally found out.
And it probably, I think that's the same day. It might have been the same day. Chris Mortensen, NFL commentator, analyst for years and years, he also just died too. So like my football world came crashing down, and then y'all gave me Akira Toriyama.
They come in waves.
Ugh, man, he's done a lot of shit.
Guess we'll see what the future of Dragon Ball
Professor Thelonious Viper.
stands.
Yes. Hopefully,
no telling what's going to happen
for the
now. I mean,
best.
like you said, I guess maybe they'll finish Daimo, but I'm going to have to start reading the manga.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pass it on to other artists and directors, and it'll move on like Gundam does,
I mean,
or they'll Ghost in the Shell 2045 it.
I mean, after Daima, if they really wanted to, it's not like they don't have material to go back on with the
Give
manga.
it the 4-star, I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, you've got plenty of arcs after the. I mean, you've got what, 2 arcs, 3 arcs after the Tournament of Power at this point.
At least 3.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Maybe it's a thing like maybe people that have been fucking fans, maybe the Tony Khans of the anime world are gonna come
pay somebody
out
$14.3 million a year.
Killer ass Dragon Ball shit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
they'll pay him $14.3 million a year to continue Dragon Ball.
He's making. Maybe he can go fucking buy it.
The Rainmaker's getting into anime.
Kazuchika.
You heard it
there
here
you go.
first.
I finally got it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about wrestling today.
That's right.
Just mention it because you got it right.
Fuck Darby Allin.
Is all elite.
In the elite.
And the elite.
I'm off Moxley for now. Fuck Darby Allin, bro.
Good luck, Darby, on your trip.
He's
on your
literally already said his
trip to
goodbyes in
Everest.
case he doesn't make it back. Godspeed.
I'm sure Jay White's going to kick him on his ass on his way out the door.
Like,